It is Tuesday, June 30th, 2026, marking the very last day of the month. It is truly remarkable how quickly time seems to fly by these days. Today I want to dive into a handful of different topics that I have been tracking. While my notes in these articles are a bit scattered and not in any particular order, I believe every single piece of information we are going to cover is incredibly important for what lies ahead. Before we officially get started, I want to encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button right now. I have heard from quite a few longtime subscribers who mentioned they are no longer receiving notifications when my new videos drop. To ensure you do not miss anything, I recommend clicking the bell icon down below to reset your alerts. Our first major headline comes from CNBC, noting that gold is currently on track for its worst quarterly loss in 13 years due to the Federal Reserve's persistently hawkish stance. Looking at the market right now, gold is still sitting comfortably above $4,000 an ounce, while silver is holding strong at just over $59 an ounce. Even with a minor quarterly dip, these remain extraordinary historic numbers. I firmly believe we are going to see even larger spikes in precious metals moving forward, because of what happens when the Fed is inevitably forced to pivot. Everyone in the financial world knows that the Federal Reserve will eventually be forced to pull a complete 180-degree turn. Yes, we might see them implement another rate hike in the near future, perhaps even 2 or 3 more hikes of 25 basis points each. However, those minor adjustments are going to do absolutely nothing to cool down the massive inflation we are experiencing. Instead, all these rate hikes will accomplish is inflicting even deeper damage on an already fragile economy. The central bank is simply too late and their efforts will be too little. Ultimately, the Fed is going to do exactly what it always does when the pressure gets too intense. It will give in. They will inevitably cut interest rates, bring back aggressive quantitative easing, and print an astronomical amount of fiat currency. When that inevitable wave of money printing begins, you have to ask yourself what gold and silver are going to do. In my opinion, we have seen this exact economic playbook play out multiple times throughout history, and we are about to witness it happen all over again. When the system begins to fracture, it comes down to a fundamental choice. Do you want to hold paper assets, or do you want to hold physical metal? Personally, I will choose tangible metal every single day, though everyone is free to hold whatever assets they feel most comfortable with. I anticipate that the Fed's rhetoric will shift dramatically from aggressively hawkish to incredibly dovish. Whether this massive policy reversal happens 6 months or a year from now remains to be seen, but the ultimate outcome is entirely predictable. Central bankers always do a 180-degree turn in a desperate bid to rescue the broader stock market and protect institutional investors. This massive influx of newly printed money is going to be incredibly beneficial for individuals who have had the foresight to hold physical gold. I have been consistently purchasing gold as a form of financial insurance since 2013. Over the last 13 years, I have seen the prices fluctuate up and down, but a temporary drop simply means you are being handed an opportunity to acquire more purchasing power. When you look at the bigger picture, the US dollar has already lost roughly 97% of its original purchasing power. Despite this, an ounce of gold still commands the exact same relative purchasing power that it did 50, 100, or even 1,000 years ago. In stark contrast, the dollar cannot buy anything close to what it could back in 1913. It is vital to really think about the true definition of money and how the Fed's upcoming actions will directly impact your financial survival. A lot of people mistakenly believe that if they are not actively invested in the stock market, these macroeconomic shifts will not affect them. However, if you hold cash, conduct your daily business in dollars, keep your savings in a traditional bank, or have a dollar-denominated retirement account, this will affect you deeply. Switching gears to a report from the Economic Collapse blog, the AI job apocalypse has officially begun. We are currently witnessing an unprecedented and devastating wave of artificial intelligence-related layoffs across the country. Artificial intelligence is rapidly wiping out white-collar jobs that young people actively believed were the future. Many students went to college, took on massive debt, and earned specialized degrees. only to find that their qualifications are now effectively worthless because algorithms can perform the work. As a result, we are on the verge of witnessing an unprecedented onslaught of structural unemployment. In May alone, the nation saw 97,061 job cuts, marking a sharp 16% increase from the 83,387 layoffs recorded in April. For the third consecutive month, corporate adoption of AI led all stated reasons for these mass staff reductions. The technological shift is not a distant threat. It is happening right now, with more AI-related layoffs occurring in the first half of this year than in all of last year combined. Anyone currently attending college or planning their future career needs to seriously think about pivoting into a sector that does not heavily rely on automation. This is precisely why we are seeing a massive resurgence of people entering trade schools to learn hands-on skills. However, a shift toward manual labor raises practical economic questions. How many plumbers, electricians, or HVAC technicians can a single economy realistically support? We see a similar issue brewing with commercial truck driving, an industry where automation will likely displace millions of drivers over the next 5 to 10 years. These traditional trade sectors risk becoming completely overwhelmed with job seekers at the exact same time that the broader commercial real estate market is experiencing a severe downturn. According to a report on Zero Hedge, the massive investment firm Blackstone is currently selling off its stakes in a trio of data centers across Northern Virginia for $3.5 billion. Up until this point, Blackstone was primarily known for dumping its trophy office properties at massive discounts after the remote work trend permanently ruined their projected cash flows. Now, it appears they are pulling a page directly from their pre-2008 playbook by timing and calling the absolute top on yet another overvalued commercial real estate segment. This massive $3.5 billion exit means Blackstone is cashing out of a massive tech bet they made less than 3 years ago. It heavily signals that we are currently sitting in a massive asset bubble surrounding artificial intelligence that looks incredibly similar to the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s. This does not mean AI technology is going to completely disappear, but rather that many overhyped AI companies simply will not survive the impending market correction, just as countless internet startups vanished when the tech bubble burst. In other news, residents in Bensalem Township, Pennsylvania, were ordered to shelter in place today following a major freight train derailment. Officials have indicated the presence of a potential hazardous material, and while they have been vague about the specific chemicals involved, they warned that exposure could cause breathing difficulties, loss of coordination, and severe burning of the eyes, throat, and skin. It seems glaringly obvious that the cargo is highly toxic based on those specific symptom warnings, marking yet another catastrophic derailment polluting an American town. It is deeply tragic to watch so many of these chemical-laden train derailments happen in communities where residents often lack the financial resources to fight back. Historically, massive rail corporations offer the affected citizens a meager payout just to keep them quiet and prevent future lawsuits. Because inflation has left so many families completely broke and desperate, many feel forced to accept a few $1,000s in cash, even if it means living with contaminated drinking water and long-term health degradation. Finally, we must look at the psychological state of our society, which has become completely addicted to short-term dopamine hits from social media and websites. We live in a culture where millions of people are deeply obsessed with luxury lifestyles they cannot realistically afford. Rather than building tangible wealth, people spend hours sitting on the couch living vicariously through influencers who are often going entirely broke themselves just to maintain a wealthy facade. If we look at history, this collective flight from reality mirrors the final days of the Roman Empire. We see fully grown men in their 30s who are not working, choosing instead to spend their days watching videos of strangers driving luxury cars. If you are not actively working, generating income, or doing something productive with your time, you need to get into gear immediately because the economic landscape is shifting rapidly. Decades ago, American cities were clean, citizens were disciplined, and there was a widespread sense of national pride and mutual respect. Today, our major urban centers have deteriorated significantly, and the country is rapidly losing its foundation. In addition to these economic and social challenges, a severe and dangerous heat wave is currently gripping the southern and eastern United States. Temperatures have already reached 97 degrees today with oppressive humidity, and forecasters warn that parts of the New York City area could see heat indexes climb as high as 115 degrees this weekend. Please take this weather seriously, stay fully hydrated, and limit your outdoor activities to the cooler morning and evening hours. On a final safety note, a man armed with flamethrowers, body armor, 2 crossbows, and over 500 rounds of ammunition was arrested yesterday morning outside a church in High Point, North Carolina. This alarming incident highlights the growing spiritual and cultural warfare playing out across our nation, where bad actors increasingly target completely innocent places like schools and houses of worship. Because of this, I strongly advise against attending any large public gatherings or churches unless they have dedicated, professional armed security in place. You must ensure that your personal security protocols are completely sorted out, and you should carry your protection with you wherever you go rather than leaving it at home. These volatile individuals are out there, and they are actively looking to prey on innocent people. I am going to wrap things up for today, but please remember to check out the new property updates on the JB Alabama channel. Leave your comments below, subscribe if you are new, share this video, and above all, stay safe out there. God bless, and I will talk to you all very soon.